All right, folks, welcome back to the Be the Bright podcast, presented by Ridge Supply. My name is Matt Hawkins. I'm the owner of Ridge Supply. I think Jordan's down here now. We switched around, and Jordan's here with us. He's the man behind our Instagram account for Ridge Supply Arsenal, which is our ambassador group. And this is Claudia. She's here with us in Boulder, Colorado. We're recording this live on Zoom. This is our third episode with Claudia, and we're back. We're talking about Claudia's one of our ambassadors. And she's also a member of the Canyon e-racing team, as well as the Wadi Inc. Gravel Collective. Is that right? Did I get that right? Gravel Collective. Anyway, she's a stud. She rides it. She rides everything and rides it fast. And we were talking about Zwift, and when we all got locked down, Jordan and I had Zwifted for a while, but I didn't know anything about it, honestly. So Jordan was like, hey, you can get on there and we can do group rides, and you can have a beacon, and you can take this, the safety off, and you can have a fence and all these things. And I was like, whoa, okay. So he got me on there. My fitness was in the dumps. I mean, wow. And I think 3 days in, we did a climbing race. That was an eye opener.
That was your idea.
Yeah, that was an eye opener for me. That was a
totally not my specialty, by the way.
Me neither. Jeremiah Bishop actually would drug us into that. I think.
He talked us into that. That was part of his Alpine Loop stuff.
I remember it because we, I can't remember. I think we were climbing in. It was
the Innsbruck course.
Yeah, Innsbruck. Okay, yeah, right. And it's I think it's about a 20-minute climb, maybe even 25 minutes or something like that. And we had no idea. We didn't know the distance. We didn't know the nothing, but we got to the top of it, and
we didn't finish.
We started descending down, and we descended a different way. So we went over the top of the climb, went down the backside. And I thought the ride was done. We were coasting, and we turned around and we went back up the darn climb. And I remember we were talking over Discord was what we used, so we could chat on our, we could really commiserate, And I was in the back, and Jordan was off the front of where I was at, and he was like, "Wait, we're going back up the climb." And I'm like, no, we can't.
Pete said it. Pete was the first one to tell us. And we were like, no, stop messing with us. And then sure enough, I got out there and I was like, stop messing with us.
It was
awesome. The first time is a lead-in, it says.
Yeah.
So it's the worst lead-in for any of the routes, that Innsbruck one.
Nothing like starting a 4-mile climb for a lead-in.
Yeah, you're like, that was just my warm-up? Oh,
yeah. I'm sure you were doing that race too, and we can probably find out. You probably beat me by 10 minutes or something. But we did the Alp quite a bit, and I love the Alp. It's such an interesting climb because it takes about, just say about an hour, and or in that range. And it's a real consistent grind. There's switchbacks and stuff, but really you're just kind of pushing near your threshold the whole time. And we talked, Jordan was super ambitious and was like, we're going to do an Everest, and we're going to do it on the Alp. And first of all, I know how hard it is for me to even tow my virtual body up the climb, but you did an Everesting right around then, and so tell us about that. Why in the world would you do that? And give us some background on what's what all of that. Talk to us.
So Rebecca Rush was doing a charity type event she does Rebecca's Private Idaho.
Yeah.
And she did it Memorial Day weekend. And so I'm like, well, I've been wanting to virtual Everest, so let's sign up and do it then. So I did. And at that point, I thought there would still be a Dirty Kansas or all these long distance gravel races that I've been training for. But lo and behold, they all got postponed and moved. But anyways, so I'm like, I still need to do long rides. And I had at that time also been doing all my long rides on the trainer. So 6+ hour rides on the trainer. Anyway, so yeah, I decided I would virtual Everest. At that point, Mont Ventoux was not open yet, which is, since I've heard, been a better virtual Everesting route, by the way. But I really quite enjoyed doing the Alp. My first time I went out pretty hot. I basically told myself that I would not go very fast, but the first one I averaged somewhere around 200 watts. I weighed in that morning at 60.3 kilograms, if anybody's curious. And I didn't really slow down. Those 10 minutes of recovery was all I needed, and get a shot of Coke or Red Bull or eat a snack and then hop back on and do it again. I had my kicker climb. In order for it to count, there is a virtual, or there's an Everesting board, if you will. Your trainer has to be at 100%. And I also have the full Wahoo setup complete with the kicker climb and then the fan and everything here in my room. And it was perfect that day. This is my setup behind me. It was perfect that day because it was only like 50 degrees. So I could open my windows. I had the AC and all the fans, and it was perfect. But anyway, so my average power, which I think it takes in consideration the time where I had zero power when I was not on the trainer, was 170 watts-ish. Right. For the entire time. And when I finished, I had the second fastest time in the world, which since has been third or fourth now because, you know, it was so popular this summer, but I was only 4 minutes off the record when I finished. So I finished in 9.5 hours. And so my goal has been to do it outside, but the weather's been so crap. I went and did a base camp one day as like a practice and realized what not to do. Yeah, it was 17,500 feet of climbing, and Everest, for those that don't know, is 29,029 feet that you need to do. And if anybody is looking to Everest, I have lots of tips for you. Pick a day where it is not 90 degrees with like feeling over 90 on the pavement. That was what I ran into. And then wind gusts of over 20 miles an hour with deep aero wheels. Wouldn't really suggest that. And also don't do it on a road with no shoulder. That was really popular on the weekend. So I just set myself up to.
You said you're not a climber too. You said that earlier.
No, I'm not.
Yeah. And so
I moved here from Texas where it was super flat, and like I never rode hills until this year actually, because last year my wrist was broken, so I couldn't even ride up these climbs. So it's a new thing to me.
Yeah. And I mean, but I think riding the Alp though too, it requires, yes, if you're a climber, it's good, but it's kind of a power situation, you know. It's about an hour where you're pushing out a pretty steady, you know, it's not super steep and it's not too what is it, I think it averages 7.5 or 8 or something like that, right?
Yeah, I'm right around 8. It's a perfect climb for me, and I've been searching for the best one here in Boulder because, you know, I start at elevation and then it gets even more elevation. Right. Yeah. Like there's one that I considered, it's a long haul, but it ends at like 9,500 feet. So by the time you get up there, and of course I've acclimated to that because I do this stuff like every weekend, but it's still, notice it.
I've talked about doing it, like, since obviously speed is not going to be my forte, but I had talked about doing something that was really scenic, or like a gravel, you know, like a real grind of a thing where maybe it would take you like 24 hours or something to get it done. But the fact that you got it done was not that doing an Everesting is ever easy, you know, but doing it on the road where you're going up at your power and then you're flying down. I was kind of looking for an experience, you know, not that you're going to show up on a leaderboard, but
totally. I mean, the routes, there's so many climbs here, it's hard to pick, honestly.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's something, the first known Everesting. So I was also trying to go for that. And I see why people have not done it, because every time you go down, there's like, you have to slam on your brakes and then you turn around when it's at 11%, which is never an ideal spot. Like slam on your brakes.
That's awful.
You turn. And then when there's traffic, like, on bikes and cars. I'm like, this is probably the worst idea I've ever had. So since then, I've figured out a better spot and just need a perfect weather day to go out and do it before it snows again.
Yeah. Well, you've done it and you still want to do it again, which
Well, I did
think,
it virtually, and now I want to do it outdoors. So yeah, I got the kit for doing it virtually.
Yeah.
But I just need to do it outdoors, and outdoors is way harder. I don't care what anybody says, because you need to be on your bike for the descents, and also like it's not as easy to self-crew yourself, and that is my goal, to just solo Everest, to like not make a thing of it. And yeah, basically there's a calculator. It says it'll take me like 14 and a half hours versus 9.5 hours. So
yeah,
one's obviously harder than the
I'm
other.
sure you let us know if you need any help. I mean, I'm not coming out there, but we
no one's gonna know it's secret Everesting.
Okay, good.
Until after it happens.
I like that. Well, because we've been, I've been involved with Phil Guyman all year.
Yeah.
And what's great, when we first started talking, he wasn't even going to do this. And it's amazing how the entire year has been sort of dedicated towards that and the pursuit of it. And the amount of people that have done it, because we mentioned Scotty before, he actually held the record a couple years ago. And it's amazing how much faster they've gone than that.
It's down to what, like low sevens now?
Yeah, I think it's 720 something.
I was thinking about taking the one here in Fort Collins, Risk Canyon, where one record was set, and it's 11%, just over a mile, straight up, straight down. But there's been wildfires in that area, so I'm definitely not going to breathe that.
Air quality is...
Yeah, that's also been a concern this year. So I don't know how this is going to happen. But anyways, that would be perfect, because all the routes around here, of course, you're descending. You got to slow down for switchbacks or like traffic or whatever. And like straight up and straight down sounds amazing. But the problem is no bathroom. Just point out the obvious.
Yeah. Well, you're a triathlete, you probably you're probably used to that. You know what I mean? Like,
I've since improved my bibs game. It's a little harder.
Yeah. That's a whole nother episode. We don't really need to go there quite yet. And like you said, it'll be a secret, so nobody has to know all the dark side of solo Everesting. Now, do you have a special bike setup or something that you have planned? Obviously, gearing is important, but do you have like a Canyon with no cassettes or something on there? Like, what are you thinking?
Yeah, no, I'm going to buy a climbing specific bike, but this year has been really hard to buy bikes. So I have my Canyon Aero Road that has deep wheels on it. They're definitely not the best for crosswinds, so I also have to be considerate. But there's been studies done that if you have aero wheels, it's faster on the descents and it helps you better. Of course, they might weigh a little bit more on the climbs, but the advantage that you get on the descents is worth it, is what they say. Anyway, so I have a 32 cassette and I have a compact on there as well.
Okay.
I normally
to win it.
Yeah, I normally don't actually ride a compact. I usually ride a standard on all these climbs, but because of the length of it, because don't let people, like all these people doing it, don't downplay how hard it is to climb almost 30,000 feet.
Yeah.
And the worst part about Everesting, I feel, is that you have to do the same route. Like you have to go up and down the same climb.
It's a mental game.
It's mental. And like, if I have more gears and I can spin it out easy for a bit while I get my crap back together, I'm gonna take the gears every time.
Well, Claudia, thank you so much. I'm so close here on the time. I just want to say thank you for joining us early morning before your work day. Go crush it. We'll see you on Zwift. We look forward to we're gonna have to get a ride together where we have a text battle. A text battle up out on Zwift, because I might be able to give you a run for the money on that. Like I can sit up all the way and text, and we can see who can, I'm joking.
I'll be trash talking you.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
The slowest person to the top with the most texts wins.
Oh, I like this challenge.
Yeah. It's like the anti-Everest. Well, again, appreciate it. Episode 22, the timer dinged, so I'm gonna have to do some editing. These dudes are over here just drilling into the side of the building. I'm sorry if y'all hear all that audio. We're making do. Thank you so much, Jordan. Thank you, Claudia, and we appreciate it. Y'all have a good day.